good lunch? Yes. Ready to go to sleep? Distinguished dignitaries on and off the dais, organizers of today's program, lovely ladies and lovelier gentlemen. I count myself lucky to be among all of you this afternoon, sharing this special day and the first day of Navratri too. A day that gives voice to our struggles and our stories. I must begin with a confession. When I am invited to events of this kind, where I am asked to share some pearls of wisdom with the audience, it always makes me quite nervous. I am always tempted to tell the organizers, why don't we skip the speeches and flash forward to high tea or lunch or... But while we wait, let me share a few thoughts and a few stories with all of you. Motivational speakers often use stories from the animal world to inspire and educate us. One such story is that of an eagle brought up to believe that it is a hen or a duck since it grew up with a lot of chickens. The story ends with the egret wistfully looking up at the sky and yearning to fly. We have had other such stories, the ugly duckling transforming into the swan, for instance. And what these stories have in common is a search for the self, a search for selfhood and self-identity. This story set me thinking, what am I? Am I an eagle or a hen? I have done many things that may be counted as courageous and brave. I have stood my ground to do the right thing, resisting unimaginable pressure. You know the IAS, how full of pressures it is. I have quelled mobs with only my voice as a weapon. But there are also unglamorous times when I have painstakingly cleared files and pushed papers, or fussed over my children like a mother hen. I have danced in parties in pretty colors, and does that make me a peacock? And I have burnt midnight oil writing my doctoral thesis. So do I become an owl? And I must admit, I have been nervous and fearful so many times, from simple things like asking a question in class. Our times were different. You are much bolder and braver with your teachers now. To talking back to a nasty, confrontational colleague, I have been full of hesitation and reluctance. Am I a nervous chicken then? I began to look around me at women who captured my imagination, who captivated me with their lives and their stories. And I tried to know myself through them. Let me begin with Mallika. Mallika drives a buggy at the KLE Medical College in Belgaum. Mallika lost her husband when she was very young and had to bring up her two children, a son and a daughter, as a single mother. Luckily for Mallika, the women's wing of the KLE Society took her under its wing. This is one example of how women can help other women. She was trained to drive, provided employment, and over a period of time, she got her daughter married, educated her son, while she continues to drive. There's a story behind that picture. Malika was driving me and we got to talking, and when I heard her story, I told her that, Malika, I need a photograph with you. And then jotige one photo tagbeku anige. So she tells me that this was sometime in the late evening, and she said, we can have a photograph together, but you must be ready at 6:30 because I begin driving my buggy at 7 a.m. in the morning. So she gave me the photo up at 6:30, and you can see that I am in my nightie. She is bright and cheerful at 7 a.m. at the buggy. And looking at that bright and cheerful smile, you will never guess or imagine the struggles that she has overcome in her life. Malika's story taught me that it hardly matters whether I am able to slot myself into any one identity or paste one single label on myself. We each have a journey. We each play so many roles. We cannot be defined, stereotyped, or slotted into one personality. We change and we grow. We are one and many at the same time. And we change and evolve over the course of a lifetime. I cannot claim that I am an eagle, nor that an eagle is better than a hen. So, if I have one message for you all, not just the women but the men too, stop this search for identity. You are what you are. Yourself and your contribution is valuable. This brings me to my second message. Let us develop backbones instead of wishbones. A few years ago, I addressed a young audience like all of you, the young girls and boys of Rajgiri Business School in Kochi, in Kerala. I spoke on entrepreneurship. In the audience was Meera Suresh, and she did more than merely listen to my speech. She actually went ahead and did it. A year after my visit, I received a message on LinkedIn. Somebody was speaking of LinkedIn today. And this is what the message said. And I quote her, "1 year back, you came to Rajgiri Business School, Kochi, to address the gathering and talk about empowerment and entrepreneurship. I was one among those students who keenly listened to your words. And it not only gave me some good time, I hope you are having a good time now, but also helped me to start my own venture. Today, I have started my journey. A zero financial investment project with a whole woman team. And we named it Wordsmith. Thank you, madam, for the fire that you have filled in us." This was Meera's LinkedIn message to me. And from Meera and her sister Haripriya, I learnt the story of self-reliance, which I share with all of you today. Observe everyone, learn from everyone, but rely on yourself. If all this is about how you engage with the world, how the world engages with you is a whole other ballgame. Your looks, your dress, your social behavior, all will be watched